Hey everybody, it's the Lyoko Gem, and oh my god, the hype is real right now! Recently, the developers of Fusionfall Legacy released a video showcasing the brand new intro for Fusionfall Legacy, and honestly, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Here we see the full potential of Fusionfall, and I couldn't be more amazed by the work showcased by the dev team. But I'm not here to gush. Well, at least that's only part of the reason I'm here. We're here to analyze this intro and see what kind of things we can take from the trailer. So without further ado, let's begin. Right off the bat, we hear Ben's opening dialogue from the Academy portion of the game, and oh my gosh, I'm so happy that it's back because I absolutely love it. It was one of the few good things that the Academy brought to us, so to hear it again is lovely. And to that wonderful soundtrack composed by our man, Panman, is absolutely awesome. Panman, once again, you have blown us away with your incredible composition. But moving on, we get a glimpse of Sector V with the treehouse in view. One thing to note is that the treehouse is in fact on ground level with everything else. We get a nice view of the curved roads, and hey, they look even snazzier from that view compared to the old aerial ones. And we also get a cool bus flying overhead, along with the scamper parked in front of the treehouse. As for the treehouse, it's possible that it's simply on ground level again, or that it's possibly showing off the world before Fuse, which is also very likely. It's possible that the treehouse ended up being put up in the air as an extra line of defense. Either way, Sector V looks very different than we're used to, and I love it. Next up, we see a look at the gazebo at Pokioaks, displaying statues of Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, before we get an aerial view of them soaring off in the air. Might I add that nice touch with them having their classic sound effect being used as well? Nice one. Next up, we stop at Foster's interior, where we see Wilt and Coco walking by. As we know, interior areas were already confirmed for Fusionfall Legacy. While we've already gotten a glimpse of Pokioaks Junior High, it's nice to see a little bit of Foster's. Oh, and of course our ace detective, Jackie Combs, hanging around on that chair over there. Next up, it's Megas, touching down in a pre-corrupted goat's junkyard. Now, this is clearly only for the cutscene, but we can see that Megas' model is fully functional and able to move, which could possibly make for further interesting cutscenes. Either way, it's sad because we know Megas' fate. However, might I say, the sunset is absolutely stunning in this scene. The lighting is absolutely gorgeous. Then we have a look of what appears to be Mount Mandarkmore? Mount Darkmore. Either way, I believe that from the looks of things, this is in the Genius Grove, and it's part of Mandark's house. Now, with how this looks, I can absolutely understand why they've been hiding Mandark's house for so long. Because for those of you who follow Fusionfall Legacy, we've known that in streams and stuff, whenever they're in the Genius Grove, they've always made sure never to show us Mandark's house infected zone. And from the look of that, we now know why. But as I've said before, that this cutscene shows the world before, so whether or not it'll be like this in the infected zone, it's hard to say. However, another thing that should be noted about the infected zone is the mandroids hovering on those floating platforms. It's possible they'll be used as moving platforms in, well, the infected zone. Then we've got Rex going through the desert on his Rex ride. One could imagine that this is more than likely near Providence's place, but somewhere in the general nowhere area. And in the back, it looks like we can see a canyon in the distance. Could that be Devil's Canyon? Afterwards, we get a shot of the ruins with Drew Saturday and Fisk Tim. This hints that Fisk might be with Drew this time around, although I don't know if that's for sure. He's probably still with Zack, and Fisk is more iconic to be used for this cutscene, which is why they went with him. Then we've got Carl from Johnny Bravo, making his Fusionfall debut. He appears to be camped out in front of Dex Labs, probably excited for the time travel experiment. Could this hint at a possible connection to Dexter though? Perhaps part of his guideline or something. But in the background, we get a poster of the three Powerpuff Girls dressed up as their favorite heroes, Liberty Bell, Mage, and Harmony Bunny, from the episode Super Zeros of the original Powerpuff Girls series. Plus, we've got him reading a Toonami comic depicting various Cartoon Network characters, including Tom, Dexter, Major Glory, and when he opens the page, while I can't make much out of it, is that Xylene from the Ben 10 series? Anywho, after that, we've got Omniverse Forearms, waving to a bunch of folks taking pictures of him. A lot of familiar faces are there. Hey Peace, hey Kyra. But that aside, we get a look of the downtown area of Legacy. While I initially thought this was City Station, and it very well could be, it's possible that this could actually be in Marquee Row. The reason I say this is because in the original Fusionfall, there were a group of people excited to see a Ben 10 movie in the same area, and we're all waiting in line. One of which even wore a jacket similar to Ben's Ultimate Alien Force 1, which if you look, is present here as well. So it would make sense for them to make that reference to having it in Marquee Row. Then we've got General Scar and Mojo Jojo riding in on their individual tanks. And might I say, I love the noise that Scar makes. It's just too funny. But I have no idea where this could be. It looks as if it's in the suburbs, but it's hard to tell. Not much to say, except Father can be seen with groceries, and him is seen jogging in a tracksuit. Then we've got the Eds in the cul-de-sac, working on a car. Not much to say, except that the wind blows in the grass quite nicely. The animation is stellar, like the rest of the animation. Although, I will note that the car is the same one as we see of Double D's in the Academy at Mount Everest. Then there's the stellar Plane of Fusion animation. With that, Ben's narration ends. Then we got more incredible music from Pan Man. Once again, thank you so much for that. And then we get a little look at the outside of Dex Labs. Not much to be noted since we've already seen Dex Labs before. However, it should be noted that the little advertisement up there is, well, there. While it is just for the cutscene, is it possible that the game will advertise different things on Dex Labs at different times? Such as, say, a holiday event. It has Art of Chowder saying to see him about the Knish Kringle ordeal. Then we get in, and we have Dee Dee skipping through along with a mess of other familiar faces. We know what Dee Dee's about to do. Moving on, Susan and Mary Tess make their Fusionfall debut, and their models are looking pretty great. They're probably there to view the experiment as inspired scientists. As for what they'll do, we'll have to wait and see. Possible connection to Dexter, but I doubt it since it seems like this is just the sort of thing that they would just come to because time travel, it's cool, it's interesting. We've also got a super secret undercover Mandroid present in, well, vicinity. Then we get a first-hand glance of Buttercup getting amnesia and all. For real though, I find it very interesting that she's here. It seems like things have been slightly changed up for Buttercup, as originally, the whole ordeal where she went missing was originally months before the game, but now she's alive and well to see the time travel experiment. This brings up a lot of interesting changes for Fusionfall. For starters, this sort of confirms that there's a bit of a time lapse between the failed time travel experiment and Fuse's arrival on the planet, as it would take a reasonable amount of time for that battle to happen, as well as for Buttercup to be thrown into the sea, for Ace to find her, be Belladonna, and part of his band and all. Oh, and Number One and the Mayor are seen in the background speaking to a desk bot. Mac then looks at a hologram, more than likely displaying the details of the event, only for Blue to appear and be his usual blue self. I love this scene in particular because it just shows a lot of character without any speaking. Mac and Blue feel like themselves, and I love it. Plus, the dodgeball armor is being displayed, and Dexter Guide followers, your future awaits. And also making his Fusionfall debut is Weasel, who gets scooped up by Bubbles. I love this interaction for facial expressions, animations, and the fact that it keeps up with Bubbles' character of loving animals. Finally, we have the center stage with all the familiar faces, Dexter giving a wave, and the main event, the time travel machine. Then, character creation. We get a tease of the character creation theme again. At the moment, I can't hear any changes from the version we heard last year, although I haven't really looked at it much. But we've got some new stuff in there, such as the ability to change voice, which is self-explanatory. Then there's personality, which I and many others believe is to change default animations, such as idols, the way they run, and the emotes. And then there are facial features and currently set at freckles, which is cool. Well, it looks like that's everything. Fusionfall is such a happy game, and oh my, the future. Overall, this is some pretty interesting stuff and makes me super hyped for Fusionfall Legacy. The devs have really shown their hard work and talent here. It makes me more excited for what they can do and the game will eventually experience. But this shows off the true potential of Fusionfall, and the fact that my dream crossover is really coming to life, and I just cannot wait. Keep up the good work, guys. I know you're going to do great things, and you've always got my support. In the meantime, while we wait for Fusionfall Legacy, we have Fusionfall Retro, which is releasing on August 1st of this year. Oh boy guys, I hope you're ready. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think of the Fusionfall Legacy intro? Are you as excited for the game as I am? Did you find anything I might have missed? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, then be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more from me and Fusionfall, then check out this video of me reacting with Kyra in the Terrafuser trio, or check out some of my other Fusionfall videos. With all of that being said, this has been the Lyoko Gem, fighting Fuse, and working out.